Hello, everyone. Justine Dandria here with Creative Faith Cafe, and today I am here to show you how to make a creative art palette. And my voice is different from the video because this was a video that I had previously done live. So I just thought I'd come and show you here. So these are this is a package of two palettes that I bought from Amazon. You can just go on there and purchase them or anywhere else you would want to purchase them from. I've never actually used art palettes before. I use paper plates, so that's funny that I'm going to use them for decorative purposes. But they're like a wood and they're about a 1/4 inch, kind of like a 1/4 inch plywood, I guess. Then I'm using a stencil. This is a silkscreen stencil from Magnolia Design Company. If that's something you're interested in, get in contact with me and I will help you to get one. And then I'm going to be using some acrylic paints. I'm going to start by using white acrylic. And then I am going to kind of like dry brush it over top of the one side of the palette, the art palette. And honestly, you can do this technique on anything. I'm just showing you this technique on the palette because I just thought it was really cute. So I have this older brush that I don't normally use and it's kind of ratty. So it's perfect for dry brushing. So when you dry brush, that basically means you don't want a lot of paint on your brush, and I don't want to completely fill up my surface. So I'm just going to have fun and go over it a couple times. And I want the surface to show through. So that's the purpose of it. Kind of making it look vintage a little. So basically you kind of just do it um, to where it looks good to you. And I am going to be covering it up with some other acrylic paints to kind of make it look like there's paint on it. And you can go light, you can go dark. It's really kind of up to you. And if you have a spot that you don't really like that's too dark, you can use a baby wipe, or actually I would probably use a paper towel, but just be careful because it'll make the effect a little bit different. Like it might smush the paint into the art palette. I think I'm going to show you in a second here. Yeah, I think because see up top there, I made it too thick. So got rid of it. If you can see, it lightens up, but then it just has a different effect to it. And that's okay with me because I'm going to be covering up the palette with different paints, like I said. So it's all good. So that looks good to me. And if you are like me and like to do things quickly, when you're creating, you want to see it put together, then you can use a heat gun. What do I use? I use the Heat It craft tool by Ranger. I think everybody has that one. Almost everybody. Or you can use a hair dryer. That's fine too. But I like to go quick so that I can continue on with my craft project. So I've chosen about 5 paints, I think it is. 5 color paints. Yeah. And I'm going to start with the blue. And what I'm going to do is make blotches. You can use like one of those circle sponges that you buy at the Dollar Tree. They're like a circle sponge brush. And you can just blot a perfectly nice circle on there if you'd like. Or you can kind of do it the way that I'm doing it. And I'm actually even mixing in a little bit of white paint to kind of look like it's actually being used as a paint palette. So I'm using blue, green, yellow, pink, and a turquoise. You can design it so that it is matches the colors of your wherever you're putting it, your decor or whatever. Mine staying in my craft room, my art room, whatever it's called, my studio. So I'm kind of having just fun with some colors here. Again, and if you weren't stenciling it, you can actually lift up the paint and kind of have it um, like bumpy and kind of more natural, like with globs on it. Because my daughter had said that, why don't you put more globs? Well, the reason why I'm not globbing it, you do want to have a thinner layer of this paint is because when we put the stencil on, we don't want it to um, we want the surface to be as flat as it can be. You can, um, after we paint this part of it, if you want to seal it with some spray to help it with the grooves of the wood, then that would be good. So before you put the stencil on, then you would go ahead and seal it up. Because sometimes if you're working with the textured or a yeah, like a textured surface instead of a smooth surface, the uh, paste that we're going to be using will go underneath the stencil into the grooves. So and you can fix that just by, touching it up a little bit. But those are just some tips that I wanted to give you. Just have fun. Just have fun with it. I don't, I don't take it too serious, my art. I'm such a whimsical artist that I just have fun with it. It's so funny to see myself up in the corner moving around. All right. So just adding, have fun and make it just different designs and different shapes, but, making it mm, have fun. All right. So again, you're going to want to definitely dry this if you're going to continue on. And this one is a Esther. Perhaps, what is it? Perhaps you were created for such a time as this, Esther 414, that I'll be using from the Magnolia Design Company. And as I said, if you're interested in that or any other silkscreen stencils, Magnolia Design is has lots and lots of wonderful stencils that you can use in your creative time. All right. So once the paint is dry and you're deciding, and then you put the sealer on, you're going to go ahead and we're going to use the stencil to add our chalk paste. We'll be using chalk paste, and you want to make sure that it is laying nice and flat. Everything's um, down, nothing's lifted. And I'm only using part of the stencil. I'm not using the whole stencil. I'm just using the wording. I'm using my chalk paste. This is black chalk paste. And when you're first opening the chalk paste, you want to kind of mix it. And if it's a little dry, then go ahead and spray some distilled water in there. That'll just help loosen it up a little bit. And that's what I'm doing here. And you're going to want your squeegee. If you're new to silkscreen stenciling, oh, it's so much fun. It's the reveal of it when you lift it is just so cool. I want to encourage you to give it a shot. So just remembering not to go and cover up the areas I don't want. And you just go over all the areas you want by just swiping the squeegee over it. Um, um, trying to get all the surface. So you don't want to go over it too many times, but I'm busy chatting away in the video. I almost forgot my Esther 414. And if I did, that's okay, but I wanted it in there. When you're done, you immediately want to take it up and then bring it to the sink and wash it with cold water. You don't want to let it dry on the stencil because then it'll clog up the silkscreen part of it. Voila! Isn't that so cool? So I am going to add a picture of my finished product to this video because I added a paintbrush um, to the side of it. So I'm going to add that because I didn't do it in this video. So I'll add it. Here I'm just spraying some water on because I wasn't going directly to the sink. So, all right. Well, if you see there's a couple spaces, like I was saying, make sure that you cover everything with the paste in my video, and I realized I missed two spots. So I had to go back, and I just use a regular paintbrush, and I added a little bit of the chalk paste. So you can go through and you can just kind of touch up where you need to. It's so funny to see me and fast forward here. Okay. So I just remembered to, I am gonna show you how I would put the paintbrush on. I just didn't paint it. So here's an old paintbrush. I'm just gonna put it that way. I am gonna fill it with or paint it with some of the acrylic paint that I've used, the blue and the green, and I'm gonna kind of mix them, but not mix them in so that they're muddy. So I will put a picture though. All right, so I think I'm done. I think it's been a long day today, and I'm just like, ah. Oh, I'm adding a little bit of white highlight to each of the little paint spots there. So, and you can sign it or whatever. What a cute gift it would be too for somebody who is creative and likes to do stuff like that. So if you do decide to make it, make sure you share it because I love to see everybody else's artwork. There's so much more that you can do with this. So, all right, I'm going to end here. So everybody take care.